Okay, here we go, March 12th. Getting back into things with actually having vlogs in class. Apologies again for yesterday. Reminder, I want to start off with something I mentioned yesterday, but kind of get it here on the YouTube channel as well, in case somebody watches outside of class. Quiz on Friday, which means we're going to be getting a study guide coming up on Thursday. I might hand it out on Wednesday, but for sure the study guide will be available by Thursday, which means that the vlog post of the correct answers for the study guide would be posted after school that day by about 4:30, hopefully a little earlier. The reason I point this out is because those answers are the correct answers. If you fill them in on your study guide and then use it to study, that is 2 free bonus points on your test. Plus the fact that you actually used that to study, that should get you a minimum 75% on your test, which is a 7.5 since we have a 10-point quiz on Friday. Last quiz of the quarter ends on Friday, which means if you take that 7.5 and those 2 bonus points, you're looking at an A on that quiz, finishing off the quarter strong. So that is why I'm encouraging you to actually take advantage of that. I know some of you are kind of like, it's only 2 points, doesn't matter. I'm telling you, it does matter, and when people actually do it, it makes a difference not just for that, but for the actual quiz grade. Gonna be really tough to do any corrections on this one since the quarter does end on Friday. Okay, so that's enough of the soapboxing for today. Let's go ahead and get into today's objective. I can comprehend and model the enhanced Fujita scale. I can analyze graph tornado frequency. Remember, we talked about Dr. Ted Fujita when we asked Tom last week in our student presentation about whether or not tornadoes could hit a city. Fujita is the guy who actually created the scale of how we rate tornadoes. You go from an EF0 to an EF5. We're going to get into more detail about that today. So this is our intro. We're going to then be welcoming some guest speakers in to talk about the enhanced Fujita scale. One of them is just going to give us kind of an overview of how they look, the wind power, and the damage from it. Then the second one's actually going to give us some better examples that will allow us to create models of our own. Going to analyze a graph and try to figure out what's going on with that so we can see make predictions of what kind of a damage there might be, what kind of Fujita scale there's going to be on that one. And then there's going to be an exit ticket if there's time based on what we're learning today. Reminder, quiz on Friday. It's on the board. Of course, it's going to be staying up there. So for today, we're not jumping in with a bell ringer for today. Not that we are ignoring what we learned yesterday, but we are going to go ahead and just jump right into this Fujita scale stuff. So I want you to be paying attention, considering whether Fujita scale is looking at wind speed, damage, or both. So is it the power of the storm? And then how is that power of that storm measured? Is it wind speed? Is it damage caused by the wind speed? Damage caused by the storm? And then what point on that scale can we actually get to? If there's time in some classes, I do have one video kind of like that hurricanes one where we looked at the increasing sizes of hurricanes, where we can try to look at increasing sizes of tornadoes. That one's kind of interesting because it actually gets up to the theoretical level of an EF6, which is going to be mentioned by one of our guest speakers today. And so we can see kind of where that would land and then why it would not exist if we actually get a chance to take a look at that particular video. If we do not get a chance, I will at least make sure that it is on the YouTube channel and you can go check it out for yourself. One other thing, I have some grades are up to date. Some homework assignments will be handed back actually later this week. One of the things that you're going to need to use is the maps that we did of the USA. If you did not complete the map of the USA, looking at Tornado Alley and Dixie Alley, you are actually going to need that for your quiz on Friday. So you're going to want to make sure to get a copy of that assignment and get it completed. I'll have some extra copies available later today. And so you can get to take a look at that. The information's posted on Google Classroom, and then I'll make sure that we have some copies of the page that you actually need to complete for that so that you can use it for your test. In addition to that, I'm going to go ahead and post the answers or rough answers to that one, so that if you want to copy it down, that would also be available on an outside of class classroom vlog. So a lot of information covered today. It is fortunately a full-length day because it's Tuesday, so let's go ahead and jump into what we are doing for today, taking a look at the Fujita scale. I'm going to turn it over to our guest speakers.